Hey guys, I'm Nisa Homey. Today I'm sharing an eggless ragi cake recipe. This healthy cake is gluten-free, meaning no wheat flour or maida is used, no refined sugar, jaggery, eggs or dairy. Super healthy, sugar-free and wheat-free ragi cake which can be enjoyed by the whole family. So let's get started with the recipe. To make eggless and sugar-free ragi cake, into a cast iron pan, I'm adding in 1 1/4 cups of sprouted ragi flour. Ragi is also known as finger millet and it is completely gluten-free. And on medium to low flame, I'm lightly roasting the ragi flour. Now the reason why I'm using sprouted ragi flour is that once the ragi is sprouted, the vitamin C tends to increase and lead to easy absorption of iron into the bloodstream. Hence, I prefer to use sprouted ragi flour in my recipes. Ragi is also one of the very few natural sources of vitamin D. Hence, an addition of a good healthy fat is a must when you're using ragi flour. The high fiber in ragi flour helps to keep you feel fuller for a longer time, thus helps in weight loss and weight management. It is packed with calcium, good carbs, amino acids and vitamin D. Ragi has a good amount of iron that is ideal for those with iron deficiency anemia. Once the ragi is lightly roasted, you can notice steam starting to come out. At that time, remove the ragi flour from the tawa to another plate. Allow the roasted ragi flour to cool down. So I'm going to keep this aside. This is a completely sugar-free cake recipe. Hence, I'm not using refined sugar or even jaggery in this recipe. I'm using about 8 medjool dates in this recipe. Medjool dates are soft and slightly bigger than ordinary dates. However, if you are using ordinary dates and not soft medjool dates like I'm using, then you may need to increase the quantity of dates, maybe about 10 to 12 dates or as per your sweetness. Medjool dates are really soft and easily blendable, hence I prefer to use them in my recipes. If the dates you are using are not soft like mine, you may need to soak them a little in water and then use. I'm roughly tearing the dates and adding it into my chutney grinder. Note that medjool dates are slightly bigger than ordinary dates, so adjust dates as per your sweetness. I'm not using any eggs in this recipe, and as a replacement for eggs, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. Next, I'm adding in 1/3 cup water. Sometimes you may need extra couple of tablespoons of water when you are mixing the batter. 1/4 teaspoon pink Himalayan salt or as needed. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. 2 tablespoons wood-pressed coconut oil. Wood-pressed coconut oil are also known as cold-pressed coconut oil. Wood-pressed coconut oil has a very neutral flavor, hence they're amazing to use in baking. However, instead of wood-pressed coconut oil, you can use any locally sourced wood-pressed oil of your choice or even A2 desi ghee. And one tip I would like to give at this point is that since ragi is one of the very few natural sources of vitamin D, you need a good source of healthy fat for the assimilation of vitamin D, which is a fat soluble vitamin. And now I'm going to blend this until everything is nicely mixed and combined. Once coarsely blended, I'm adding in 1/4 cup of water and I'm going to blend this to a fine puree. Once nicely blended, transfer it into another bowl. And now I'm going to keep this aside. I'm using 3 ripe bananas, and note that the bananas should have some black spots on them. The more the black spots, the more riper the banana will be. Ripe banana will be more sweeter. I'm roughly slicing the bananas, and with a fork I'm mashing the bananas. Okay, now the bananas are mashed and I have transferred them into another large bowl. Add the blended ingredients into the banana and mix the banana and the blended ingredients. Into a sieve, I'm adding in 1/4 cup of raw cacao powder. Instead of raw cacao powder, you can use ordinary cocoa powder also. Add in the roasted and cooled ragi, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, and mix all this really well and sieve it into the banana mix. This is an excellent, healthy and nutrient dense sugar-free eggless cake which can be enjoyed by the whole family. The best part is kids will not even guess there is finger millet or ragi in this cake. No wheat flour or maida is used to make this super healthy ragi cake. Ragi once roasted will have some lumps, hence it's ideal to sieve. And you may have also noticed that I used just 2 tablespoons of wood pressed coconut oil. So it's a very healthy and nutrient rich cake with very minimal oil. And with a spatula, I'm lightly mixing the ragi flour into the banana mix. You may need some extra water to help it blend into a nice cake batter consistency. So first I'm roughly mixing the ragi flour and then I'll add some extra water as needed. I have measured 1/3 cup of water and I'm adding in half of it and I'm mixing it with the spatula. Add the rest of the water and mix the batter. Once nicely mixed, the batter will be thick and creamy. At this moment, I have preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. I have roughly chopped 70 grams or about half a cup of dark chocolate. You can also use dark chocolate chips instead. Into this, I'm adding in about 1/4 to 1/3 teaspoon of ragi flour. And I'm lightly coating the dark chocolate which I have roughly chopped with the ragi flour. This will prevent the dark chocolate from sinking down to the bottom of the cake pan while it is being baked. Add the roughly chopped chocolate onto the batter. I'm keeping aside 1/4 portion of the dark chocolate. Next I'm adding in 40 grams or 1/4 cup of cashew nuts. Instead of cashew nuts, you can use any nut of your choice, like maybe even walnuts or almonds. Any nut of your choice will be ideal. And I have kept aside about 1/4 of the chopped cashew nuts. This will be used to garnish the cake. And with the spatula, I'm again lightly mixing, or you can say I'm folding the chocolate and the nuts into the batter. Do not over mix. You just need to lightly fold the ingredients into the batter. Now to bake the cake, I'm using a round baking dish. Into it, I'm adding in a couple of splashes of wood pressed coconut oil and grease the pan with the coconut oil. Make sure you grease the sides as well. And then place a parchment paper in the center. And then transfer the batter into the prepared cake pan. Level the top with the spatula. Sprinkle the roughly chopped dark chocolate on top and sprinkle the cashew nuts as well. I'm going to bake in my preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 35 minutes or until done. Remember that oven temperature varies with oven, so please keep an eye on it after about 25 minutes. And after 30 minutes, the cake is nicely baked. I'm inserting a toothpick in the center and you can see that the toothpick comes out clean. So I'm going to allow it to cool down in the pan itself. And once it has cooled down, I'm running a knife through the sides. This will help to release the cake easily from the pan. Remove the parchment paper and place it onto the wire rack and allow the cake to cool down completely. And once cooled completely, remove it from the wire rack. So guys, do try this healthy cake recipe and let me know how it turned out. Today I'm sharing an eggless ragi brownie recipe. This healthy brownie is gluten-free, meaning no wheat flour or maida is used. No refined sugar or dairy. Super healthy brownie made with ragi flour, also known as finger millet. This ragi brownie can be enjoyed by the whole family. So let's get started with the recipe. To make healthy ragi brownies, into a small kadai, I'm adding in 3/4 cup sprouted ragi flour. and I'm lightly roasting the ragi flour on low flame. Once lightly roasted, transfer to a plate and allow it to cool down completely. While the ragi is cooling down, let's get the other ingredients ready. Into a bowl, I have already sliced in 2 ripe bananas, and with a fork, I'm mashing the bananas. Okay, now I have mashed the bananas, and now into this I'm going to add in the rest of the ingredients. Into this I'm adding in 1/4 cup organic jaggery. The jaggery I am using is organic and does not contain any sand or dirt or dust particles. Hence, I am adding it directly into the banana. Instead of jaggery powder, you can use coconut sugar, palm sugar, or even maple syrup. Next, I am adding in 3 tablespoons wood pressed coconut oil. Wood pressed oils has a neutral flavor and taste. Hence, wood pressed coconut oil is ideal for baking. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, a fat pinch of pink Himalayan salt, and in 1/4 cup vegan curd. Today I am using cashew curd. I have already shared 4 different vegan curd recipes. Please do check it out. Now, if you don't have any issues with dairy, you can use dairy milk curd instead. And now I am giving this all a good mix. As you mix, you can lightly mash the bananas as well. Since ripe bananas are sweet, you just need 1/4 cup jaggery powder. However, if you feel you need more sweetness, you can add in a couple of tablespoons of extra jaggery powder. Adjust jaggery powder to suit your sweetness. And once nicely mixed, let's add in the dry ingredients. Into a sieve, I'm adding in 1/2 cup raw cacao powder. If you don't have raw cacao powder at hand, you can use unsweetened cocoa powder instead. There are some lumps in the raw cacao powder, hence I'm sieving it. Next, I'm adding in the roasted and cooled sprouted ragi flour. And now with a spatula, I'm mixing the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. If the batter is slightly thick, you can thin it out by adding a couple of tablespoons of vegan curd and mix it really well. And last but not the least, I'm adding in 1/2 teaspoon baking powder. You can add the baking powder along with the ragi flour. I actually forgot to add it along with the ragi flour. And now I'm giving it a good mix, and I'm making sure that the baking powder is well mixed into the batter. So I'm just folding the batter and making sure that the baking powder is well mixed. I'm using a rectangle baking pan to bake the brownie, and into the baking pan I'm adding in a splash of wood pressed coconut oil, and I'm greasing the wood pressed coconut oil using a paper napkin. Make sure you grease the sides and all the corners of the baking pan, and I'm placing a parchment paper onto the baking pan. And I'm making sure that I'm leaving some parchment paper on both sides, as it will help to pull out the brownies easily once the brownies are baked. Transferring the brownie batter onto the cake pan. And then level the top with the spatula. I have finely chopped 70 grams of dark chocolate, and I'm adding the dark chocolate into the batter. Instead of roughly chopped dark chocolate, you can use dark chocolate chips instead. And with a spatula, I'm lightly mixing so that the dark chocolate gets into the batter. And lastly, I'm sprinkling in about a tablespoon of chopped cashew nuts. Instead of cashew nuts, you can use any nut of your choice, like maybe chopped walnuts or almonds, any nut of your choice. And now I'm going to bake in my preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 18 to 20 minutes or until done. Note that oven temperature varies with oven, so please keep an eye on it after about 15 minutes. And after 20 minutes, the eggless ragi brownie is nicely baked. So I'm going to allow it to cool down completely and then I'll slice and show you how it looks. And once it has cooled down, remove it from the pan and slice and enjoy. Let me just show you how the brownie looks once it has been sliced. You can see that the brownie has baked really well and the dark chocolate has melted, giving it a double chocolate flavor. Super healthy gluten-free brownie can be enjoyed by the whole family. So guys, do try this healthy brownie recipe and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.